People, listen up, said Diesel 10. I have a plan. Okay, said the other engines. Dan and Dart are going to sneak on the Sodor and pretty much crash the trains or take their coal. Yes, sir, they said, and they were off. Alien Bert, you guys are going to watch, and then me and D199 will get on Sodor. Yes, sir, they said, and they were off. Let's head to Sodor, they said. They came charging in. As they came in, they saw Donald. He bumped into him, and Donald went flying backwards. Ah, he screamed. What are you guys doing? What are you doing, they said. Then they gave Donald another giant bump. Help, he said. Help, but no one heard. Just then Donald put on his brakes and veered off. Just then they came in and smashed into his tender. All his coal spilt out. Whoops, they said. Goodbye. Come back here, screamed Donald. Ryan was just coming out when they came up. Ryan didn't realize it. They uncoupled him from the train, and they started chasing him. Just then Ryan was trapped between the Diesels and Duck and Shima. Look out, they said, and started backing up. What, said Ryan. Just then the Diesels came and gave him a giant bump. Ah, he screamed. Help! And he flew into the sea. You guys are next? Oh, whoa, why are you backing up, said Douglas. Go back, they shouted. Go back! But Toby didn't realize this, and he got derailed off the track. There was a giant wreck. Go, said Ashima, and they rushed at the Diesel. Gave him a giant bump. Oh, they said, and they... Ah, said Dart. Dan accidentally derailed him. Dan! Just then Ashima and Duck came along. Ah, said Dan and backed up. They banged out into the water. Ah, he said. Oh boy, said Dan, and he rushed off. We're going after you, they said. Connor, meanwhile, saw all of it. Let me help you, Toby, he said. Thank you, Connor. Douglas, are you okay? Oh, just a few scratches, he said. I shouldn't need to go off anywhere. Alright, said Harvey, let's get this mess cleaned up. And he went set to work. With all the crashes, that meant all the trains had to hold up on their work. Mike and Bert were assigned to pull the goods train. Then they were stopped too. Bother, they said, we can't move anywhere. And then Molly started coming up the hill. Guess I'm stuck here, she said. Oh boy, this is not good. Tom, meanwhile, saw it all from the station. Oh dear, he said. I should not have been in that line. But just as he came down, Thomas came racing around. Thomas, stop, he said, but Thomas didn't hear him. Thomas then came to a stop. Bother, he said. There's a train blocking the line. He didn't realize there was a big line now. Bother, he said, I'm stuck in all this. So Tom and Hat heard a lot of arguing stuff. Stephen, take me there. Yes, sir, said Stephen. Sir, he said, this is as far as I can go. Bother, said Sir Topham Hat. I have to walk up there myself. So Topham Hat was walking, and walking, until he made it to the crash scene. So this is what's holding it up. Douglas, is this your fault? No, sir, it isn't. He said. It was caused by a diesel. A diesel, he said. Why is there a diesel? I don't know, he said. Oh. Well, now all the trains are going to be late and delayed. Ugh. This is not how it's supposed to be, grumbled Sir Topham Hatt. Back at the docks, Dan came up with the coach line hat and banged into them. It went back down the hill. Ah, they said. This machine banged Dan so hard he got diverted onto another track. Oh, he said. Come on, said Ashima. But Duck didn't hear her. Sir, said Duck. Sir, turn me around, Crane. Sir, said Duck, this is my fault. Me and Ashima backed up into Douglas. So we're trying to get away from a diesel. A diesel, said the Talking Hat. Because of that, the whole island is now trapped in this one line. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir, said Duck. You should be, said the Talking Hat. But he didn't realize it was Duck's fault. Meanwhile, the diesel was heading back towards the mainland. The boss can't hear about this, he said. He rushed away. Ashima, meanwhile, was racing after him. Come back here, she said. Just then, Den started racing at her. He derailed Ashima. Ouch, he said. Now, give me your coal, he said. Your coal? Why? Because, said Den. I need you to give me it. Will not, said Ashima. She got herself back on the track and banged him. Go back to the mainland, she said. I work on Sodor, he said. And banged Ashima so hard she came right off the track. Ouch, she said. She said, now you can't move. He snickered. Ha ha ha. Just then he realized he was near the crash. He zipped past the Talking Hat. Who was that? Said the Talking Hat. I think that was old Diesel, said Duck. Soon Den arrived back on the mainland. What are you doing back here? Said Ailey. Duck fell in the water. Seriously? He said. He gave Den a giant bump. You're not helpful. Sir, he said, I'm trying. Oh, said Ailey. Banged Den so hard he flew over the bridge. Be useful, shouted Ailey. Come on, Duck, Den, he said, and he gave Den a bump. Ouch, said Den. What are you doing? I'm doing what you deserve, he said. The Talking Hat saw this. Ailey? He said, go Den, go, and they rushed away. Stop Den, he said. Duck, get after them. I'll try, sir. Crane, pick me up. The Crane picked up Duck and flew him onto the other track. I have a late start now, bother, he said, and he was off. Diesel was flying into the station. Duck was close behind him. Donald, he said, stop them. I can't, I don't have my tender, he said. Bother, said Duck, and he chased after them. Frida, said Duck, stop them. I can't move, she said. Bother, said Duck again. The Diesels went flying up. Duck, meanwhile, was in the water with Ryan. They were both stuck there. Cranky, help me. I can't, said Cranky. I can't go anywhere. Bother, said Duck again and puffed away. Stop, Den, he said. We're gonna do this. Diesels backed up and then they raced down the hill. Diesels came racing down the hill. He started pushing everyone. Said Connor as he came off the track. Keep going, they said. Pete Percy. He was still coupled to the express coaches. We're doing this track, he said. Ouch, said Hank, as he came off. Duck, meanwhile, was far behind. And then he saw some of a mess. Bother, he said, they're making more of a mess. The Talking Hat was shocked. What is going on here, he said. I don't know, sir, said Duck. We'll get a good one at this, they said. They started pushing more engines off the track. Ouch, said Mike and Bert. We just need you off our line. Then they started plowing through the goods train. The caboose was left. They made it fly up and it hit Molly. Said Molly. She flew off Gordon's Hill. Keep going, they said. Thomas, Stephen saw this. Said Thomas. They banged the goods train off. It crashed at the bottom. Just then they were chasing Thomas and Stephen. Said Stephen, and diverted into their shed. Thomas was racing away from the diesel. They then caught up to him. Ouch, said Thomas, but he stayed on the line. But his one milk car came off and hit some trees. Just then he banged them. Said Dan, and banged Stephen into the shed. Ouch! We're coming, said Bert. Ouch! His other car came off. Now it's a shunting battle between two engines. Thomas's buffers are getting heavily damaged. Just then Thomas gave one giant bill. Ah! Said Elliot. And he was derailed. He then got himself back on the track. Thomas! He banged Thomas so hard he flew in the air. Ah! Said Thomas. And he was damaged. Oh no, are you okay? Said Samson. But Samson backed up too far. Ellie banged into Samson. Ouch! He said. Who's next? Guys, we must help, said Colby, and he buckled up to his friends. Then they came along, but they were slow. But they diverted out of the way. But Duke was in the way. Guys, he said. Ellie backed up. He banged into Duke. Ouch, my tender, he said. Now you can't move, he said, and took Duke away. Ah, screamed Duke. Got them done. Don't just sit there. They went forward as quick as they could. Coley crashed into the turntable and flew on the other track. Let's get out of here, said Westy. Come on, Duncan. And they puffed away. But Duncan stopped. You won't get me, Diesel, he said. He was wrong. Dan came flying up. Ouch, said Duncan. And Dan ran after Westy. Ouch, said Westy. But meanwhile, Percy backed up way too far to the mail coaches. Westy banged into Percy and they all came off the track. Except Percy's mail car. Ha ha ha. Meanwhile, Duke went flying over Gordon's hill. Bye, he said. Ah, said Duke and derailed. Ha ha, said Ellie. The island of Sodor looked like a mess. Engines were everywhere. Except at the docks. Come on, guys, he said to the other engines. You have to go help. And they were off. Soon all the diesels came. Soon the other Sodor steamies came out. And salty. We're here to help, he said. Perfect, couple up the dock. Okay, guys, you guys are our last engines with coal. We need you guys to stay hidden. Go to Tim's sheds. But still there's engines there. I'm not sure, said the Topham Hats. When no one was watching, Bert came onto the island of Sodor. Behind Tom. He said, now the place in the Tom. Tom flew over and landed on the shed. Ah, he said. He fell down. Ouch, he said. Annie and Clarabelle came off the tracks too. They banged Coley. Ouch, said Coley. And then banged Tom. Ouch, said Tom. And landed on the track. He banged into Scruff. Ouch, said Scruff. And banged Bert back, but that didn't do much. Just then the turntable turned around. Ah, said Scruff, and he flew off the track. Your turn, said Ellie. What are you doing to me, said Ferdinand. This. Ah, Ferdinand came off the track. No one else is in there. Perfect, said Ellie. Dan, said Ellie, go to the steamworks. I'm heading to the docks. Yes, sir, said Dan. Winston was just sitting there when all of a sudden he got banged off the track. Ouch, he said. Just then Dan took some engines. What are you doing, said Victor. This, said Dan. He made them go so far that they flew off the track. Ouch, they all said, and they all landed in a field. Meanwhile, Ailey pushed through. And then he saw a whole line of steamies. Guys, he said, I'm gonna need your help with this one. I was on my way to the docks. All of them are here, they said. Come on. They soon all backed up with each other. 1, 2, 3, and started flying down the track. Ah, said the Topham Hat. They banged into Duck, who flew off the track and accidentally knocked Harvey off. Ouch, they said. Then they started pushing all the engines off. Ah, Timothy stayed on. In the water or off with you, they said. They backed up. Timothy was scared. They banged Timothy so hard he flew off into the water. Ah, said Timothy. Now that's how you take over a railway, they said. All of you okay, said the Talking Hat. Yes, they said. A red bus came into Sodor. He's King of Talking Hat. So, he said. What is it, Bullseye? He said. You're probably not even on our side. Yes, I am, son. I'm gonna get you out of this railway. Look at it. Oh, said the Talking Hat. I really don't know. Just get in, said Bullseye. Talking Hat did. Fine, he said. He hopped into Bullseye. Bullseye roared over to the bridge. Wait, said the Talking Hat. I want to get out. Your wish will be granted, said Bullseye. Bullseye got on the tipping bridge. It spun around and made him and the Talking Hat go flying. Ah, he said. He landed on the track, but the Talking Hat didn't. Ah, said the Talking Hat, and he splashed into the water. Ah, he said, help me. Bye, said Bullseye, and he washed away. Get back here, said the Talking Hat. He was left in the water. Bullseye roared back to the mainland. Sir, he said, the Talking Hat is in the water. Perfect, he said. Come on, D199. Let's go to our railway, and then rushed away. They soon came to the tipping bridge. Here we go, said Diesel 10. Welcome, Sodor, they said, and they came down the tipping bridge. Welcome, Sodor, they said. Diesels, they shouted. You did a very good job. Just then they saw everyone on the ground. The island of Sodor was in disaster. All the engines flew off the tracks and everything was destroyed. This is thy railway now, said Diesel 10. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! He said, and they came into Sodor. The end.